8:30 in the morning, October 10th, 2024. I'd like to call the combined special and regular meetings of the Tulsa Airports Improvement Trust and the Tulsa Airport Authority to order. All right, the first order is approved minutes of the September 12th, 24 meeting.
Move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Okay. Ms. Alexis.
Hi, so I just wanted to share this fun picture our team did for 918 Day this year. One of our drone pilots Michael Dahl was able to use the drone to capture this. It was kind of fun. We never thought about the shadows and the cool effect that would have, but it turned out well. And we had a lot of fun on 918 Day with our customers in the terminal. It's something that people are like, they first are like, what is going on here? Like, what's 918? And then we explain. And they get it, and they're like, they're so excited to be here and be part of that celebration. So had a good time with that. I did want to, because I failed to last month, just recognize our operations team and all the teams who go into the successful outcome of our Part 139 inspection.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
It is 2 years in a row, and they're looking at hundreds of data points when our inspector is here. And to be able to come out and look at our facility and not find anything wrong with our airfield, with our training records, inspecting our tenants' fuel farms. I mean, there's just so many things that they could find discrepancies with, and the fact that there were none is a testament to the work that our team does. And so I just wanted to recognize them for that work. I also wanted to share with you, as part of the FAA's closeout letter, they did, and they talked with us about this too. They brought up a concern about our crosswind runway and the condition of that runway. And so Frank has had that in our CIP a little further out, maybe 5 or 6 years out. But based on their feedback, we are pushing that up in our CIP. And when you get the CIP for approval here in a couple of months, you will see that we are going to do some design work to design a rehab project for that runway. Probably next year or the next 2 years, and then in 3 years actually do the work on the crosswind.
Okay.
So good feedback from them on that. And it helps that our inspector says it's important, because that helps with our Southwest region and prioritizing discretionary funding for that project. So we did have exciting news with our announcement by Southwest that they're going to start flying nonstop to Nashville on April 8th. It's a great departure time. It's a 12:10 p.m. departure time. You get to Nashville at 1:40. The return flight to Tulsa leaves at 2:50 p.m. and arrives here at 4:30 p.m. So excited to have Southwest provide that nonstop service. And we hear from many customers who are very passionate about Nashville service. So it's been fun being able to share that news, especially with those customers who've been asking us for it for many years. Our team had the pleasure of supporting the Oklahoma Warriors honor flight for their departure on October 1st. They took 65 Oklahoma veterans to DC for the day from World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. I wanted to share with you, this was an article that the Norman Transcript wrote about the trip and the feedback that veterans provided. One of the veterans said, what the reporter said, while all 3 veterans spoke highly of their time in DC, nothing seemed to match up to the welcome home they received Tuesday night in Tulsa. And the veteran said, out of all my time and experience in the military and being honored, this was the most fantastic, heartfelt event that I ever attended. And another one said that was the highlight of my day, talking about the welcome home. It's just such a special event to be able to participate in and support. And we always encourage people to come out. They said we had about 300 people out to participate in the welcome home. The Owasso High School band was here. It's just a great event. And we have these flights twice a year. And so I always encourage people, if you've never experienced the welcome home, to just come out and see it for yourself. And then to support as much as people can the Oklahoma Warriors honor flight. For every veteran, there's a guardian. And so they need volunteers to be a guardian for the trip to DC. If you're up for a 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. day, which I'm sure is exhausting, but it's just a great organization to be able to support. So appreciate our customer experience team who really supported this, our police department as well. Many teams came together to make this event a success. We try to share updates on our customs facility. And so Frank and I said, probably quarterly we'll do customs and then we'll rotate off with the air traffic control tower. There's a lot of movement up at the tower. If you ever just want to drive up there and see it, it's pretty impressive to watch. The Tulsa World's going to be doing a story about it this Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. But we thought we'd share an update on the FIS, and I'm going to click it again. There we go. And so this is that time-lapse video camera from beginning to end, but it just gives you a nice perspective. They actually poured concrete yesterday. And so this video ends the day before, so you don't actually see the concrete. But if you just peek outside the A waiting area window, it's a great view of what's happening, the progress that they're making. I also like the sky.
You can tell we haven't had any rain.
Yeah, right, it's true. Yeah. But you're starting to see some of that vertical development with all of the utility work that's being done. And so it's a great time to be here and be part of these big projects. And then I just wanted to wrap up we had a wonderful story time last month with the Signature Symphony out with the kids. And so reading and then musical instruments. And this month we're doing trick or treating after story time. It's during fall break. So we're inviting all the kids out to the terminal and then to go trick or treating. We have 8 of our stakeholder companies that are going to participate in that with us. So with that, I'll turn it over to Bernadette.
Good morning. So this slide is our activity report comparing August 23 to August 24 in the fiscal year to date. We're off to a great start for our fiscal year. Our revenues are up 13% for the month of August to August and 16% for the fiscal year to date. That is mainly driven by the increase on the passenger revenues, the increase in the rates, and we have a more landed weight. Our terminal concessions are doing great overall. Every concession did a little bit better than they did last August, but with the addition of slot skis, they did like 65,000 more than the previous tenant that was there. The airfield, the cargo, the landing weight is up a little bit, and then our parking and transportation trip charges are driving that, and interest in our CFCs. Our expenses are actually down for the month of August, but just 1% for the fiscal year to date. The salary and benefits are actually up, as would be expected. That's the increase in the salaries and the insurance, taxes, and benefits. Last year, we were buying a bunch of baggage parts in July and August, so that makes that down. It's down only like 2%. And then the services are down due to utilities. And then last year we had a bunch of repairs due to the Father's Day storm. Our food and beverage concessions are just doing fantastic. And the retail is just pretty much on par with last year. The parking activity is actually down 3%, but the revenues are up 3%. Mainly due to our shuttle lot. It had a $4 increase in the average ticket price in the month of August. The rent-a-car transaction days are doing really well along with their gross revenue. RVS, our operations and fuel flow fees are just killing it. You can see that there. Our in-plane cargo continues to be down. Our landed weight is up. We had 16 more landings in the month of August than we did in August 23. Our passengers are up 5% for the fiscal year to date in the month of August, and also 5% for the calendar year to date. And this is our budget to actuals, which is up under budget, 12% for the revenues. That's about $1.1 million in additional revenues. And it's pretty much the same thing as the actual to actual. It's the passenger revenues. We had more signatory landed weight than we were expecting. The terminal concessions and the advertising are above budget. The airfield is the landing fees and the cargo rentals and the badging. The parking and rent-a-car is the parking, the rent-a-car counter and the ground transportation. The miscellaneous revenue, that is interest and CFCs is driving that above budget number. Our expenses are actually under budget by $424,000. The salaries are below budget by about 10%. That's probably a good thing, as we don't know what's going to happen with our insurance, and then we have some planned increases that haven't been kicked in yet. Our materials and supplies are 8% below budget, and we haven't bought any de-icing supplies, and we have some non-capital equipment that we haven't purchased yet that we have in the plans. Our services are actually 6% under budget, and that's mainly due to consulting and our software and our repairs, and that just haven't had time to get started yet this fiscal year. This is our total cost position, kind of showing our trend for at the end of July, at the end of June, July, and August. We have $110.6 million in the bank. If you take those first two, unrestricted cash and our discretionary reserves, it equals 386 days of cash on hand. Any questions?
Very good. The plane passenger, we've had 1 month that we haven't been.
Right, in March. Yeah,
Yep.
it's been a steady increase.
Yeah. That is, I mean, it's significant. It's not like 1%, it's 5%.
Yeah, we're averaging 5%.
I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Great job.
Good, all right. Let's see the reports. No, we got yours, don't we, Frank? Or you're not giving a report, you're just gonna answer questions?
Whatever you want. I don't have a report prepared, but I can probably
Okay,
make
that's
something
fine.
up.
Let's go to item 4 on the agenda.
Okay. Item 4 is to approve a license agreement between the city of Tulsa and TAIT for the installation of a guardrail at the intersection of North Memorial Drive and East Virgin Street. So we approached the city, and I have a picture here about this intersection. It's the corner if you're heading north on Memorial. When you get to the airport, you turn left onto Virgin Street. This is what it looks like today. Those bollards drive me and many of us crazy just because the paint chips and fades and grass grows and it just isn't the best look. And so we asked the city, or we would like to put this guardrail in place to improve the look, get rid of the bollards and just, you know, make it look more effective or look better. And then, I mean, people do hit it. The reality is that people take that turn way too fast, many times at night, or if they have other issues, you know, impairment, and they hit those bollards. So we wanted to do something that would still keep cars from going forward and hitting a fence. And this is the solution that our operations team came up with. And so we can't just install it because it's technically not on our property. It's on the city's property. And so for the past couple of months, Cole and our operations team have been working on getting the proper approvals at the city. And we were able to get their approval. We're paying for the guardrail, even though it's on their property. We will have it installed. It's about $8,000. And then they're going to put up additional signs. But I think it's a win-win. It's going to look better, be more effective, and over the long term, if somebody hits it, it's replaceable. So
The city thanks you.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So are there gonna be reflectors on those?
Hopefully at the turn, there's gonna be some arrows.
Yes, there will be reflectors as part of the sign plan.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
Please go that way.
Yes.
The installer said like the yellow that's on the end of there, they can actually put that along the middle of the railing to
Okay.
indicate a turn.
Yeah, even if it's just those little, like bicycle reflectors or something, it's amazing at night how
Yeah.
those things light up and
Yeah.
really get your attention, so. It was good.
Yeah, the other one looked like we were under construction though, and I mean, that was kind of appropriate.
Move
Well,
approval, item 4.
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Okay.
Item 4 is approved. Item 5.
Item 5, approve memorandum of understanding between the Tulsa Airports Improvement Trust and the Transportation Security Administration for the airport's donation to TSA of a Leidos Advanced Imaging Technology Body Scanner and an associated Leidos explosive trace detection machine for the pre-check lane. This item on the agenda is the first step in us obtaining this machine. Next month, we expect and anticipate to have an agenda item for the actual machine to purchase, to issue a PO. But under the TSA's capabilities program acceptance, so they have to do a study, they've got to determine a business case use, we've got to sign an MOU. And then the MOU basically states that we are purchasing it, we're going to pay for 4 years of maintenance, and then after the 4 years, they'll take full ownership of it.
Very good.
And exactly what is this?
This is the.
This is the
scanner.
imaging.
This is the full body imaging machine that we will put on the pre-check lane, that, and it'll look very similar to the ones that are existing for the non.
Right, so they're gonna switch, I mean, that's the beauty of the pre-check lane is not having to go through that.
Well,
So are they gonna
you
change?
do have to go through it.
Well, you go through a metal detector.
Yeah, and if,
Not
if
the-
you've got a hip or a shoulder or anything
Oh, that's
in
why,
your
so,
body, you
so
have to
it
go
doesn't
all the
go
way
back.
over and
over.
cut in
Oh,
line
yeah.
in front of other people and.
So
Yeah, so
along with Kent, my husband traveled this week and he's had 4 knee replacements and he's a pre-check person
Yeah,
and a frequent traveler. And he said, I can't believe it, but I can't even go, they make me get out of line and go all the way back around.
yeah, okay.
Is who can we complain to? That's really crazy. It's almost like they're discriminating against handicapped.
And it.
Well, that's
it's a little
what this will
embarrassing.
solve.
this,
Yeah.
You know, it's a little embarrassing because you're cutting in front of the other
Right.
people in the other line,
Right.
and that's the.
Right.
So we've talked about this for some time.
Yeah.
I'm real happy we're on the road to getting there.
I think that
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense.
so you'll see an item next month, for the purchase of this equipment, but this is the step we need to do now.
This is the memorandum.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5 is approved happily.
Mhm.
Okay, item 6.
Item 6 is approved change order number 3 with Mars Cherry Construction LLC in the amount of $8,757.10. This is for the airport terminal vestibule improvement project. This compensates contractor for additional electrical work and as well as additional sheet metal work. This also adds 9 calendar days to the project. And management would recommend approval of item 6.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Item 7.
I'd like to take item 7 and 8 together. They're both for Timberlake Construction Company, contractor for the wayfinding implementation phase 1 project. This project was completed as we were doing the final inspection. We noticed a couple of areas that we could add some signs that would help the public. So the signs were unit price. That's the way they were bid. So we were able to extend the quantities on those. The mobilization and the traffic control was not unit price, it was a lump sum. So this first change order is in the amount of negative $1,620.04. This takes care of additional electrical work, additional mobilization, and additional traffic control. It also reimburses TAIT for additional construction administration costs. It also adds 88 calendar days to the project. Seems like a lot, but it takes a while to manufacture those signs and then install them and so forth. Item 8 is for change of quantity for the same project in the amount of $11,935.83. And this basically reflects the quantity used in the field for those 2 additional signs. To date, this project is 6.1% above the contractor's bid price, and management recommend approval of items 7 and 8.
Any questions?
Move approval items 7 and 8.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
7 and 8 are approved. Item 9.
Item 9 is to approve the mutual termination of the sublease with Metro Air Service DBA Donata Logistics effective November 9th. They have cargo building space, and had the postal contract, and that contract was terminated. And per their lease, if they lose that contract, then we can cancel the lease. So,
Move approval, item 9.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now it's approved. Items 10 and 11.
so last month, we asked you to approve the subtenants of Christensen Aviation LLC, and to Christensen FBO LLC, and that transaction did not take place. So we're asking you to rescind that approval, and then on item 11 is to actually approve and consent to the subtenants with Christensen Aviation LLC. And this is for their 66 subtenants at Riverside Airport.
Any questions? Have a motion.
Move approval of 10 and 11.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye for lack of a second. Item 12.
Item 12 is to approve acknowledgement consent to subtenants with Southwest Aviation Specialties. This is for their 23 subtenants at Tulsa Riverside Airport.
Do we have to list every subtenant when there are multiple hangars, thing like that?
We have to know about the subtenants. Yes, they're required to inform us. But we are not listing them because our tenants are very protective over their customer lists.
I understand. Do I have a motion on item 12?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
12 is approved. We don't have an executive session. We have no new TAIT business. We have no new TAA business. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Aaron, you want to take that one?
I make a motion we adjourn this meeting.
All right. Do I get a second or does it die?
We want you in.
All them in favor.
You're dismissed this week.
Now, that's one of the quick